Gator's Power Systems is the area's leading Kohler standby generator solution, specializing in maintenance, repair, and installation on all major brands, from gas to diesel and 2kW to 2000. Home or commercial, our team has you covered. Our factory-certified technicians and installers are highly trained to provide response and repair when you need it the most. We service what we sell, period. Trust the Gators, where we sink our teeth into service.
All right, welcome back. We're live coming to you. We have Mr. Travis Terrebonne, who is in the house with Gators. He's the owner. And we'll get you to push over a little bit there with him. It was set the camera on you there. How you doing, Travis? Good to see you.
Whew, I'm doing, man. It's been an interesting morning.
I know we just had the parish president of Lafourche, Archie Chess, on. He thanked you for doing. Said y'all do a lot for him.
Man, that's my partner. You know, being a progressive thinker, I think on the worldly stage gets you in trouble nowadays. But in our local community and business and landscape, I like to surround myself with them. And I think Archie's moving the parish forward for sure. Jason as well. So good dudes. Yeah,
Jason's working on pumps right now and trying to pump everything out. So everybody got their hands full. But I always tell people, and help out. Instead of criticizing, get out there, clean some catch basins, do what you got to do. Because look, ain't nobody wants to wake up as a parish president, sheriff, DA, police chief, and be faced with this. It's why they get elected, because they got to handle it, but nobody wants this. We don't wish this on anybody. You're dealing with a lot of generators. Let's talk about safety factors first, because we don't want nobody, look, we've had people start generators. I remember back in the day when we were on St. Charles Street, we ran pipes from our exhaust outside. Some people never thought about that, and they run them inside or in the porches with no air. This ain't good, is it?
No, definitely not. Look, we started at 4 o'clock this morning. I got the first text from one of my technicians at about 4 a.m. this morning saying, hey, are we going into phase 1 of storm prep? Absolutely. So we started, our whole staff, all 30 employees were at the office at 6 a.m. this morning. And that's kind of how we started it is, hey, let's get one unison voice. What are we telling the people of Terrebonne, Lafourche, and all the parishes we serve? Safety, maintenance, what should you be doing? What should we tell them? Yeah. Safety, man, is the paramount. If talking about specifically portables, obviously don't run them in your house.
Right.
But, you know, the main thing about these air-cooled units, whether it's a portable, gasoline-powered, or a natural gas or propane, you know, the only thing that saves an air-cooled lawnmower from running hot is the capacity of the gas tank. It's engineered that way for that reason, where you got a natural gas generator, you got an endless supply of fuel. But that doesn't mean you can run it 24/7, 365.
Which was problematic in Ida.
100%. Yeah. And that's how when I say we are battle tested as a team, we were forged in the aftermath of Ida. I don't believe this thing's going to turn into that. But I can tell you, we inundated with calls right now for people trying to get prepared. So if you're running a portable, I would tell you this, you know, get it away from your house. Learn to set your daily life on generator power to where it makes sense. Turn that AC down at night. Don't open your refrigerators and freezers up at night. In the morning, if you're a family that gets out in the community to help in the aftermath, go ahead and shut it down. These air-cooled pieces of equipment need to be shut down until you can put your hand on the exhaust without being burned before you even pull the dipstick. So when you pull up at your house after a long day of driving, you hear that tick, 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 tick noise? That's the oil draining back from your oil galleries in your engine, hitting the dry part of your oil pan. If you pull your dipstick on a generator right after you shut it down, you're going to overfill it with oil, and it could catch fire, it could run hot, it could bend the valve. So if you don't understand what to do and you're worried about it, call us. We'll walk you through it. I got 10, 12 people on the phones right now, answering calls, preparing people for the storm, and prioritizing sick, elderly, and things like that to get people serviced. So 857-0357, just if you got a question, call us. This is when we're made to shine.
Now, by shutting off some of the gas, natural gas generators, you're also sort of making sure we have enough supply. Because in Ida, we got a little depleted. Now, I know they've done some things since then, but what's the status of that?
So I'm going to tell you this. A lot of TPCG's grid has been upgraded. I can tell you the city of Morgan City, if you're watching from Morgan City, if there's a widespread outage, you're going to notice the unit being hard to start because their gas pressure is suffering right now because their grid infrastructure needs to be updated. They are in a natural gas generator moratorium, actually, in Morgan City. Terrebonne, Lafourche, you should be fine. But how to prepare for this is what we didn't think about during Ida was a whole neighborhood with natural gas units trying to start. And what people didn't know is out in the woods, a tree uprooted and busted the line. So you lost all your line pressure. And so units were taking a long time to start. So if your unit is whining out, I don't know if people understand that on the air, but if it's cranking up and whining, then go outside and open the lid and press stop, and you can manually start the unit so that you don't kill the thing trying to run on low gas pressure.
Right.
So look, I would tell you this, the amount of generators going in, the gas infrastructure is trailing, but it is moving forward. So it's not I don't think it's a major thing. I think it's going to cause minor, small issues in certain neighborhoods. But I worked with the whole Louisiana Gas Association as a state to get this rectified, and they are wanting to in the process of moving forward.
But let me ask you this. So let me just switch to a different map here. Let me make sure, see if that holds. But by turning it off, they really are sort of helping the whole community.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the automatic transfer switch has revolutionized the industry, but if everybody's auto transfer switch is programmed to start at the same time as all the municipalities trying to start, naturally the gas pressure is going to drop. It'd be the same thing if everybody opened their bathtub faucet at the same time. Pressure is going to drop. It just takes a little time for it to come back.
What do you recommend as far as what is the right amount of time in a 24-hour cycle to run your generator?
Great question. So I don't care what, I'm going to talk brand agnostically right now, which means I don't care what brand you got. What the manufacturer's not going to tell you is what the reality is. The reality is an air-cooled piece of equipment. If you have an air-cooled generator, and most people who don't have a liquid-cooled know what they got. So if you got an air-cooled unit, you need to change the oil no later than 72 hours of contiguous running. We recommend 48. I've done the oil sample test. We use SpectraScan here in Houma post-Ida. At about 48 hours of consistent 400-degree crankcase temperature on an air-cooled unit, the oil's broken down. So when you stop it, once per day it needs to be stopped, shut down until you can touch the exhaust, check your oil, don't overfill it, crank it up again, set your family up. Look, if you spend most of the day in the house and very little time at night, then maybe nighttime works for you and your family to shut it down. But to think that you were sold a bill of goods that with an air-cooled unit you can run it forever, that's just not true. Liquid-cooled, once a week. A liquid-cooled unit, once in a 7-day period, you should shut it down. Let it cool all the way down till you can touch the exhaust, check your oil, and if it's good, you can let that liquid cooled unit go ahead and get back online. Gas engines burn oil. So they are going to consume oil throughout the livelihood of being loaded, regardless if it's air or liquid.
What types of oils? Because, God, when you go to people like me who are sort of Greek, y'all grow up with engines. But what kind of oils can ruin a generator, and what kind of optimal?
So I would say this, when you're in an extended outage, and if you follow oil change intervals like I'm recommending, you could put about anything but Crisco in it, because you're changing it when it starts to break down. Now, if you want to extended life, oils like synthetics and royal purple and things like that are going to extend the breakdown life of the paraffins in the oil. All it is wax. So if you want a nice coat of wax on your stuff in your engine, buy the more expensive oil. It's not a gimmick. But when you're talking about just basic 5W20, 5W30 oil, if you're going to change it like you're supposed to, get what you can get. It's like going shopping for water after the storm. If all you drink is Fiji, but what they got is the cheap brand,
right,
get the cheap brand because it's going to get you out of a bind.
Yeah, so you're right. Supply and demand right now. What y'all said, y'all in, what kind of mode would we say y'all would be in right now? I know people trying to put up generators right now as you speak?
Yeah, I thought about my whole 10-minute drive over here, how I was going to address that in a professional manner. The people that we're installing as we speak, like right now, I have my install guys wrapping up the installs we had pending as of Friday. But most people who applied to buy a generator in the first quarter or second quarter of the year, we've already installed them. But if you waited until the summer in hurricane season and we're just getting your permit and getting you lined up, the idea of me getting your new install done before Wednesday is slim to none. Look, Lafayette's going to take, according to this, maybe a direct path, and we have guys in Lafayette today. So what we do is in phase one, we start dispatching and prioritizing service calls. In phase two, which will start tomorrow for us, we're done with installations. Our install technicians become triage, which means we respond in an ambulatory way. They all become technicians. Our job is to get the existing clients, keep them going, get them running. And then after the storm passes, we'll resume installation activity. But even for the maintenance side, Martin, I got people that text me this morning, hey, can you maintenance my generator? And I'm thinking, man, I've been talking to you since January. So here's what's happening. I want you to people to pay attention to this.
Let's come back on Travis for this point.
Okay, I want people to pay attention to this. If you don't know when's the last time your oil was changed, which is only one small piece of generator service, make a call. If you don't know when's the last time your battery was replaced, make a call. Batteries fail in the winter. We're going into that time. And our rule of thumb is that you don't know when the battery was replaced, it means it's due to be replaced. Right. And that's a lot of the failures we'll get. Utility sense lost. Unit didn't start. Why didn't the unit start? And we can go into it when you tell me to about how to crank it up on manual and stuff like that. But batteries and service, we're going to work around the clock today into tomorrow to get people serviced and their units, even if they start on manual, that's fine. We'll get them on manual.
The point is, y'all can't work miracles at this time because it's like it would be like a parish president in any of our parishes waiting until the storm's over is to turn the pump on. I mean, it's too late. That's why they all got the pumps running now. Y'all got to have time to prepare things.
Look,
any generator.
100%. And look, this thing's was going to be maybe a Category 1 tropical storm, or are they projecting it to be stronger?
Well, it's a 1, but it could be a 2.
So if it turns into a 1 or 2, realistically speaking, there's going to be some power outages. Maybe not 30, 45 days. I'd like to think most of the state got rebuilt infrastructure quite a bit, the local infrastructure.
The ground saturated, so the poles
they could fall and lean. And so what happens on an extended outage to the folks out there that waited, generators are not going away. When we had that conversation with Louisiana Gas Association, it's growing. The grid infrastructure on a national level is not getting any better, and the population is growing. Whatever reason you believe it's growing by millions. And so we can't rebuild the national or even local infrastructure in that amount of time. I know Jason took a lot of heat during the last failure, but you can only do so much when things are going good. As a business owner, I'm in the same spot as him and you. I'm trying to progress the business forward. When it's time to worry about a storm, we have to rely on plans, people, stuff like that. So we are trying to get everybody who was proactive ahead of hurricane season. We built our business on service. We're going to make sure they're running. Our installations are just going to take a back seat until this thing passes us And that's our infrastructure contribution, is we'll get everybody back going and the install's done. But man, cut these guys in the public service some slack. I've dealt with them hand in hand, and they are trying, and they're movers and shakers. But we dealt a rough hand in South Louisiana, so nobody come and save us, Martin. We got to learn to save ourselves.
That's what I sort of been preaching to everybody. Don't be part of the criticism team. Be part of the posse that goes out and gets it done.
Bring a solution to every problem.
Yeah, I think. But I know y'all are busy. You said y'all got y'all all the way to. You getting a lot of calls from Lafayette?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've already when we decided to join forces with Kohler, although we service every brand, Generac. I want you to know that if you're watching right now, Generac, Briggs & Stratton, Cummins, Kohler, Onan, any diesel, any gas, we got a real generator.
The same when you break it down.
You know, they're all about the same in terms of principles of operation. Maybe not all the same in like stocking parts and getting parts or ease of repair. But when we joined forces with Kohler and built the system in which we operate the company, Kohler said, you need to increase your footprint. And so that meant we're building a brand. You know, you built a brand. And when you're building a brand, you need more people to know, like, and trust you. So we go, I said it this morning, from rivers to bayous to marsh to mountains. I mean, man, we in Jackson, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, east, west. We cover a lot of ground, but we are setting realistic expectations that we got to take care of our backyard first before we could get out to the neighboring areas. So we jumped on those this morning, and we're going to work our way through Terrebonne and Lafourche into tomorrow and well into Wednesday. So,
well, Travis, we appreciate what you're doing. I know you're busy. I know you got to get back out there and be the leader of the Army. But but thank you so much. That's great information, and hopefully we can get past this and people will have learned, call and make plans for
Get ahead of the game.
Don't wait till the storm is right on us.
Yeah, get ahead of the game. Look, I want to give a shout out to my team. Like I said, we've been at this since 4 o'clock this morning, and no end in sight for us. We're more than just a generator company. We're in the people business. So look, bother us, ring our phone. We got a full YouTube channel. You can go back and watch all the videos we shot here with you, and I bet you a smarter generator owner after doing it.
Travis Terrebonne, we appreciate him coming by and giving us some pointers.